now. It's loading now. But thanks for joining, man. Like fucking I already cursed, bro. So I guess this live stream is already
Demonetized.
yeah. But nevertheless though, man, I haven't been able to go live like
Hmm.
in the past, I think like 2 weeks. But I was just telling young Tyrone that I took a impromptu vacation in the midst of all this shit. I live in New Jersey. I work in New York City, and Lord knows I don't want to be a part of any of that. Like, I do feel for the the lives that were taken by the poli and whatnot. Like, but I usually don't get animated with a lot of these things in either direction, or and I mean either way. I mean like, and it's not because it's not my struggle, but I think it's just not healthy. But I'll get into that in later on in this live. But what me and Ty were just discussing though, being that I consider Ty part of the team, not the team of Foul Playland, but the team of dudes that we always go live with. We always go live on Tyrone's live. We go live on Lowe's Dawkins the Pimpins lives. We go live on Michael Johnson Boxing Talk More, Brooklyn Child Boxing, and please subscribe to all those channels. But now that I do have Tyrone with me on this live stream, I want some of you people to get acclimated or know who Tyrone is. I mean, if you go back and watch this video after the fact, Tyrone's how old are you?
21 right now.
21, bro. Fucking young as shit. And he's could you let the people know what you're studying, like briefly?
So I'm studying. Well, officially, it's mechanical engineering, and next year I'm starting my master's at the same school. It's just a program, and yeah, the goal is to get that and get a starting salary of an extra 10 to 15,000 on
Yeah,
top of what usually is. I had a friend who I knew him really well too. He wrote my recommendations, and he took the hard road, dude. I mean, in high school, he didn't really go to he didn't really apply himself or anything like that. He had like a 2.1 in high school. He was just playing Modern Warfare all day. But the guy went to community college, did well there. Then he went to NC State. NC State did mechanical engineering over there. Then he went to my school and got a master's in electrical engineering. And now he's working at Lockheed Martin in Dallas. His first professional job is 95,000, and that's not bonuses either. That's his starting salary. And he had a signing bonus before that, and he has bonuses, while he works, of course. And then he was teaching me about just financial literacy. Like, I feel so dumb not even knowing about some of the moves he's been doing. Like, he bought a house, and I would probably just rent an apartment, somebody like me. But instead, he went and bought a house and rents it out to 2, 3 other people. He has a cash flow of $500 a month, and he's waiting for the property to move up and the area and to move that house. So man,
fuck that
people get
motherfucker, bro.
ahead.
We're talking about Tyrone though, bro.
Oh shoot.
Nah, but like, and I mean, I don't know shit about like anything
Hmm.
scholastically. I dropped that in the ninth grade. I'm not a dumb motherfucker, but what I do know, I was very good friends with a civil engineer, and he would always tell me about the hardships of like what he went through, like to try to become a civil engineer. And
Hmm.
unfortunately, he's not working as a civil engineer. Last I checked, I think he's actually working as a math teacher in a college. I'm not gonna say which, but I know
Hmm.
he studied in Auburn, and it's I mean like for you guys listening, and I want to give and I'll saying this only to give props to my man Tyrone is that the route he's taken up to this point, motherfucker's about to start his masters, and he's only 21. I mean, and needless to say, he's a brother Zoo. It's a lot to be admired, and he's not a square either. Like just because a motherfucker enunciates and whatnot, I enunciate too, but I'll tear your fucking head off, like fucking but Tyrone's not like a herb or a square, like fucking the dude's like, he's with it, but I mean, and he speaks proper English, and that should be commended, and
Yeah,
and
yeah. I don't mind if people think I am either, as long as I get paid.
No. Like were you like the other day? Where you were like you were still on when my boy jumped in the car? Like the dude that was
Yeah,
in
yeah,
jail.
yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, that dude. I don't know if you got to see his face, but he looks like a straight Indian, like a Hindu. And people would mind you, neither he nor I like the way I dress now. I used to dress like a square when I was in the street, but people would test me way more than they would test him. I mean, people would test him a lot faster than they would test me, and I'm not a big guy. Like he was a skinnier then, but this
Right.
dude, as far as fighting, he's like the best fighter I've ever seen, like in person, like in the street. Like he's nasty. Like he's and he I mean I'm gonna have him on the show like in the future, but he was the bodyguard to the guy who set up like one of the biggest gangs in New York now. The guy who invented that gang pretty much. Rest in peace. I'll let him talk about that more. I don't want to say the guy's name. But and this was not like in the street, this was in jail. Like but you know, people would test him all the time. So, looks don't mean anything. Like, and a lot of people that are in the street, you know, pants sagging or like, talking that shit are very
Hmm.
pussy in real life. Like we've seen some on YouTube. I've had problems with people who try to claim that like, hyper gangster like fucking mentality that if they saw me in person, they would shit their liver probably. You know what I'm saying? Like so like the whole like you should admire like dudes like Ty, and like if you're abroad, try to marry a dude like Ty rather than some dude who's fucking gonna be dropping a box of Pampers and $40 monthly. Like fucking you could build with a Ty. Yeah, bro. And
Yeah.
he's my man single too, bro. Like for you hoes that are looking for you ladies that are looking for a partner, bro. Like Ty's more than eligible. Yeah, man. Not but nah. Congrats to you, man. Like Ty, like in your scholastic endeavors and in life too. And if you ever need fiscal advice too, I know a little bit of
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just bought. Yeah, I just
I
bought some gold today too. Like
yeah.
down here, like 18,000 bucks
That
worth.
stuff I need to learn a lot about, man. Like, when I saw Mike in Brooklyn talk about the stocks in the chat, or like you just said now, gold, this is something that I just fly right over my head. Like, I'm just not financially literate.
Nah, it's very easy, bro. It's mad easy. It's just don't be wasteful and you'll be okay. I was very wasteful, bro. Like I wasted I mean going out and shit like that. Like I don't go out as much anymore. I still go out like to clubs here and there, but going out in the past more than once, like I've wasted like 9 grand in one night.
Oh wow, no, I'm like a
Yeah.
cheap guy. Like,
No, I'm
only
becoming
thing
and
that
and well, my bad, bro. I don't want to cut you
no,
off,
go
but
ahead.
as far as like the thriftiness, like that, like I learned from you in one facet, and that I'm not paying for these fucking pay-per-views any longer, bro. Like fucking I you hooked me up with the links and pay-per-views deaded as far as Casa Cologne goes, bro. Because I ain't paying for that shit any longer. $75 plus is a lot of money, bro.
Oh
I ain't
hell
paying.
no.
If like per se, if you make like 200K a year in the future and your wife makes a lot of money, are you gonna pay for are you gonna pay for pay-per-view events then?
Fuck no.
That's what's up, bro. And I know a lot of these dudes that be online, like, as far as like in the chats and whatnot, like I'm not saying I'm caking it like that, but fucking I know they don't got it like that, like to be paying for fucking watching something online or on TV, fucking $85, bro. I'm never paying for pay-per-view again. I don't care who it is.
Yeah, too. It's really expensive. I mean, only certain fighters, get exceptions, but generally, it's more of a statement towards boxing. And I talked about that. I did like a small video today.
And I wanted to jump on that wave too, bro. Like
Yeah,
on what you discussed on your
whenever you
video.
want to talk about it, do you want
Oh
to?
no, we could
Okay.
foray right into that, man, because we haven't talked boxing. I haven't talked anything. But if you guys could please check out Tyrone's video, and he mentioned the comparison in as far as the fights that have happened since this COVID-19 lockdown for the UFC, and what the prospective fights are going to happen down the line or immediately after or soon. Uh, in comparisons to what boxing has done in this time, which is zero, and what they plan on doing in the short to immediate future. He mentioned the best of the upcoming boxing matches being Joe Joyce, Dubois, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah, that's apparently the only one that's been set in stone. Set in stone, and we don't even know if that's a go yet. My biggest thing with this is it's pretty clear cut. Like, and I think my thumbnail showed it. It was Eddie Hearn sleeping, knocked out, and UFC. Dana White down to business. Now, a lot of people, and it is true, the fighters in the UFC, it's slave wages. I saw something that the UFC takes 90% of the revenue. That's horrible. That stuff has to change. That's why in some of the aspects of boxing, like boxing is a business, in that aspect helps out the fighter. You can really maximize your earning potential there. But what the UFC is doing for the fans compared to what boxing is doing, boxing is, looking as clueless as ever, sleeping, passed out. They're just tone deaf. They have no idea where they are, and they're just using this virus as an excuse not to put out any fights. And even after this virus, they weren't
Yep.
putting out the fights before and after. And the UFC in the month of May put out 4 fight cards in 3 weeks. They took 1 week off in May, and then they have their 5th fight card in a month. Five fight cards in a month. In
They're
less than a
rolling though.
month.
I mean, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a UFC fan like that. I mean, since this coronavirus happened, maybe I've upticked a little bit because they're putting fights for free and like nothing
Yep.
happening online. Like, all right, but it's not like I'm going to sell UFC out for boxing outright. And I've always been more on the boxing side in this argument than the UFC side because I'm not really a big UFC fan like that. Having said that,
Yep.
though, boxing is fastly declining, like with me, and I'm not that young.
Mm-hmm.
And with Tyrone's demographic, Tyrone is definitely the anomaly as far as his age group, you know, as a boxing fan. Like, you don't see a lot of dudes that are like, in less than 30 that are boxing fans, or that's not like something that's gaining traction, that demographic with boxing. But if it's boxing versus UFC in a time when all the eyes are on TV, I mean, boxing has zero, where UFC's,
Yeah.
Yo, but I wanted to ask you. I mean, and this is just like I mean, because you're you know 10 times more UFC, but the guy who beat like Tyrone Woodley, right?
Yeah.
Like he's not that big, right?
No.
Okay. Like so you think he's like middle of the pack as far as popularity goes, like with UFC, or a little bit above that?
That Gilbert Burns guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I had heard of him before, but I guess middle of the pack in that division.
All right. So yeah. So I would like. So we could say
He
like
got
middle of
beat by a C plus B level guy. But Tyron Woodley doesn't want to fight anymore either. And he's old as fuck.
Okay.
So
No, well, I was trying to like compare somebody who was like maybe a little bit above middle of the pack to
mm-hmm.
see like where their popularity rests, like as far as in America in general or in the world in general, compared to like
Right.
boxers like that would be like at the level of Sean Porter or Bud Crawford, even like what UFC guy would match that, like not like, all right, he's here in boxing and he's here in the UFC, like as far as like
Like
recognition
popularity.
in the whole country, yeah, sports fans, like who would you
Okay.
think like these
Um,
like Errol Spence would be like comparable to a UFC guy? And it doesn't have to be somebody I know. I'd
Errol
rather it be,
Spence.
yeah.
Yeah, he'd be like shoot.
And
He'd
not a
be
lot.
like
Remember, not a lateral thing. Like not like this guy, like Errol Spence is the fifth most popular boxer. Don't look for the fifth most popular UFC guy. Like if Errol Spence walked into the mall, he would be as recognizable as if who in UFC if he walked into a mall.
yeah, he'd be as recognizable as hmm. He'd be as recognizable as like I'd say like Yo Romero. He's a 185 pounder. He has that Cuban demographic, and He's fought some of the top guys at middleweight. So, yeah. Or maybe like Max Holloway or something like that. Who's probably a bit more known, but definitely not a McGregor or John Jones.
No,
None
I
of
know
that.
that. Bro. I
None
know
of
that.
that.
I'll put it. I'll field you one question. Like, there's probably like right now like 10 more boxers more popular than Errol Spence. I think.
Uh-huh.
Maybe a little more. But how many more UFC guys are more popular than Yoel Romero?
Phew.
There's
To
probably
be
like
honest,
20, right? More than 20 though, right?
mm, I don't even think that much. I think the UFC has like, of course, you have Conor McGregor, you have John Jones, Ronda Rousey when she was there. Nunes is people have heard of her because she beat Rousey and she beat
She's more,
Cyborg.
but again, like this is like recognizable, like to a sort of fan. You know what I'm saying? Like a Nunez
Yeah.
would stick out way more than Errol Spence. I think
Yes. Yeah.
Cormier would stick out way more than Errol
Oh yeah,
Spence.
DC. Yeah.
There's man. I think there's a lot of people in the UFC that would stick out like far more than a lot of these
Mm-hmm.
supposed top level boxers. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that's on them though. That's a lot of it is on the boxers
Right.
as far as like they've managed their careers. Like if they're the bosses of their careers, I think a lot of these boxers have done shit jobs.
Right. And that's what they
and
have to choose from. I understand the maximizing your earning potential, doing all these interviews, doing all of these, promotions and advertisements and whatever. But you have to choose at the end of the day. Do you want to box or do you want to be a promoter? The promoter should be promoting. I mean? The fighter, as long as the fighter just fights the fights, I will not be, saying, oh, he's not a star or whatever. As long as he just does his job and he fights the fights, I'm not going to talk about who's the A side or B side. Just do your job, and it might not maximize earning potential for you, but you have my respect. Now, my respect, you can't take that to the bank. It's not going to give you anything. But as far as for me, as long as you fight the fights, you won't have to hear anything from me.
No, and I honestly, bro, like that whole like conversation of like the A sides and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, like I mean, like, and this is I've had time to think of this. A lot of times, those conversations creep up due to dormancy. Like these dudes don't fight enough, and then you get these whack ass conversations about who's the bigger moneymaker, who's the A side, like if they potentially were to fight. But I mean, if these dudes were fighting even 3 times a year, like you wouldn't even get to those conversations. All the while, like their popularity would be increasing. But boxing's ass, bro. Like boxing, I mean, like Corona has like soured boxing for me, bro. Like I mean, nothing's happening, bro. And like I can't say this enough. At the end of the day, nothing will happen with these boxers, bro. I think like it's not like they're gonna come out of the gate in July or late June and like we're gonna see these dope matchups, bro. Like I think it's gonna be the opposite. Like but what do you think?
It's like I was showing how on Boxing Scene you had a whole bunch of plans, maybes, if you haven't seen one thing except on that left hand side, July 11th, Dubois, George Owens, that any of these other boxers or any of these promoters have made dates for anything. I mean, why Chisora Usyk has been in talks for over a year. Over a year. I mean, why can't he just get his backyard ready to go and get the fights open? The UFC just did an event in their training center. In a training center. You know what I mean?
How much you think they paid like Tyrone Woodley and that other guy like for that fight?
Well, they paid Woodley $350K.
Okay.
Reported. The other guy probably didn't get more than $100K if he's lucky.
How much you think Usyk? Well, nah, I mean like it's more of like a pocket market, like with the UK, like so they probably make more. But
yeah, they do.
All right, like how much you? And it's kind of like different too. Like with Rigondeaux and this guy, if they were to rematch, how much you think they would make?
Rigondeaux and Donaire?
Yeah.
It's hard to say. I know they were getting paid good money in the WBSS. That DAZN money, so Depends on who picks it up. I honestly don't know. I don't
Yeah,
think.
and even that's
Yeah.
like kind of like more of like not the greatest example, but like these
Hmm.
other boxes are making like what fucking Tyron Woodley just made, bro.
Yeah.
In the best of the cases, a lot of times, bro. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
they're not caking it like that, bro. Like that's what pissed me off about them. Like and it's not about the bread, bro. Like I don't care what you make, bro. Like like but these dudes are acting like I'm over here like in comparisons to you over there, and like it's happening more and more in boxing, bro. And that's what's like really, really, really turning me off of the sport, bro. Like
Yeah. The sport has just been full of who's the A side or who's this or who's that or who's gonna win in the trilogy or who's gonna do this. Forget. Can we have a date for the trilogy?
word up,
Can we
bro.
Can we have a date? Can we have a time? Can we have a decent price, not $75? Can we have like actually something to look forward to, like fans who a good undercard to really be pumped up about. Some of these undercards have just been. I'm not even gonna say.
Nah, it's cheeks, bro. And honestly, Ty, a lot of that shit, bro. I think it's talk that's happened in the past, and it's not gonna happen in the future, bro. Like I don't see a lot of these dudes like getting guaranteed like on the undercard, like Tyrone Woodley money, like three
No.
fights down from the main event. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I could only imagine like fucking the fights that we're gonna have from here on out. It's gonna get worse and worse, is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be even worse. I mean, we just saw, like, you see an unboxing scene all the time. Dillian White. Oh, he's a coward. He won't fight me. He this. He that. All like stuff that we've heard that over and over and over and over and over again. I mean, to the point where Eddie Hearn will come. You know what, White? Just say you want to fight Ngannou. Call him a coward. Yes, sir. And then he goes to social media and he does that. I mean, that's how he operates. I
Nah,
mean,
it probably is. I would love to
Dylan.
get that part of the conversation because it's probably exactly what happens.
So they see them fighting. So they said, you know what? I'm going to act like I want to fight him. And he's not the only one who's done this. A lot of other boxers. I just saw a video from 7 or 8 years ago. Tyson Fury did the same thing with Cain Velasquez.
Mm.
He said, oh, he wanted to fight him.
Yeah, this is whack, bro. I mean, like and that's one of the reasons why I sort of go at PVC of late because
Mm-hmm.
I think like personally like I've been seeing a lot of people like as far as fans go like myself I'm a fan like even though I create content
Mm-hmm.
sometimes but like really caping for like PVC like they're not messing up the game. If you look at it historically, like PBC was the first one to like showcase one of these quote unquote exhibition or crossover fights with the UFC, Mayweather McGregor.
Mm-hmm.
Now a lot of these boxers use that as a crutch. Like, like at some point, not all of them do, but well they'll mention it. Like, I don't have to fight this guy. I can fight so and so in the UFC. And it doesn't even happen that often. Like, but the whole like I don't think you showing like you have all these options like makes fights happen. Like historically, I haven't seen it like where like all right, he's threatening that he's gonna go to option A and like that made this fight happen. Like I think the opposite is true. But the PBC has been at the forefront of a lot of the bullshit that we're seeing in boxing, bro. I'm telling you, like I
Mm-hmm.
was not in that school of thought, man. But like the corona has changed things for me, bro. Like it's what I feel now, bro, more than ever, bro. Like, and it's what I'm
Yeah.
seeing now with the PBC guys during this Corona shit. Like, so
Yeah, I think all the outfits, man, have made excuses for not wanting to put their best foot forward and not wanting to put the best fights up. DAZN is a common example now. DAZN has made some decent fights while they've been promoting in the United States or having some cards. But I mean, for the amount of money they said they had, I don't get it. You say you have millions and millions of dollars. You're telling me you can't get Jarrett Hurd to get away from
word
Al Heyman?
up, bro. Word up. Any of those dudes, bro. Like, yo, like they could have just thrown the bread. I mean, Herb would have fought anybody for $10 million, I think. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
And supposedly they're offering that to Andrade to fight like Charlo or somewhere in that neighborhood. I
Jeez.
mean, and it's not like they. I don't think they merit it. If they get that money, they get that money. I don't care. But they could have made Donaire Rigondeaux like off the rip for $5 million, probably total.
Mm-hmm.
And that would have been a cool fight. Like or I don't know, anybody, bro. Like if they all right, if they would have paid 40 million per se, and that's like way more than what I think it would have costed.
Mm-hmm.
But they could have had the Errol Spence Bud Crawford fight. I think it could have been made
Yeah.
for $40 million. And that's a dope fight, bro. I mean, like,
That should be made as soon as possible. Like,
it's not gonna happen, Ty. I'm telling you. Like, I don't think that we're gonna see that fight, bro.
and I mean, I'm not a doctor, but to me, Errol Spence looks just fine. I think he's ready to go for a top fight now. He has to because you keep fighting these cherry pickers. He's not getting any younger. Isn't he almost 30 or 30 years old? And
He is
Crawford
30.
is like 33 or 34. Once you hit 35, it's over with, unless you're B Hop.
Nah, he's officially 30, bro. Like Spence. Heard. I mean, the Charlos are no,
They're
they're 30 now
32.
too. Yeah, they
They're
just turned 30.
32.
So like they're not getting younger, and then like what we're gonna waste our time with a Danny Garcia fight.
Ah,
I don't. We're gonna race like towards a Bud Crawford fight immediately after the Danny Garcia fight. We're gonna see more bullshit. And the thing is too, if Canelo were to come knocking at any point in that, like it's not like he's not gonna fight Canelo and say like, "Yo, I gotta fight Crawford." Like he could fight. Canelo could come knocking right now, and that's the fight that's gonna get made.
did you see that today? I just saw this. And the Golden Boy are thinking about putting Anthony Durrell versus Canelo.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that. I
Can
mean,
you
you
believe
mentioned that in the
that?
video, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Darrell's old as shit too, bro. Like it's just whack, bro, man. Boxing is completely uninspiring. Like the I mean, like I think any event that would have got popping off right now would have been dope. But again, like boxing's archaic as shit. Like if you had to guarantee like two boxers like 300,000 apiece, like to make a fight happen, I think somebody would have put the money for that. Put up the money for that. What be it an advertiser? Like you think that ESPN? I mean, the UFC must have caked it off that like Tyrone Woodley, like Gilbert, or whoever,
Yeah.
like that
Whoever
you
that
know,
dude was.
yeah, but like these dudes are relying on like ticket sales. Like if you do the math with ticket sales, bro, like it's not that much bread, bro. Like
No.
it's not make or break, like But boxing's archaic, bro. If boxing were like had somebody like you at the forefront, like not you like personally just tied, but like
Yeah, but
somebody who thinks like a young
knows
person.
business. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Who knows?
just young thinking, bro. Like all these things that they rely on, like they just get played out like entirely too quick. It's just overly redundant. Hate boxing like right now, bro. Like seriously.
I mean,
I mean,
boxing is like your granddad who steps over the $50 bill to pick up, a quarter. And he looks at it
word
and
up.
he's like, this is really big money here. And he puts it in his pocket and he walks right along. He keeps doing things the same and same way. And people are tired of it. And they're lucky they're not like the NBA. Because NBA got to that in a point, as far as not so much changing. It wasn't. It was the fact that the game changed. Like I used to be a NBA fan up until 2013, 2014, and the game changed. With all the ducking, not the boxing is ducking, but with all the fast
Softer
break
play.
stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like honestly, guys like Antetokounmpo and Pascal Siakam, some of these African bums they dig up, I can't stand. I hate it. I hate it so much. But it doesn't matter for the NBA because they're gonna get a decaf or Jimmy, who's 13 years old, and his dad works at the fucking accounting firm, and his mom is a nurse, and he's a white guy from the suburbs, and he loves the NBA just like his other friends, and those are the new fans.
Well, like I think this is a good time to change subjects. I think I mean I was talking to my lady about this. Like
Mm-hmm.
um well, damn, I don't like. Sometimes I feel like gun shy about talking about these subjects because they're like more like race centric. But
Mm-hmm.
fuck it. Um, like I think like a lot of these things that happen like entertainment wise with sports across the board, like they're like preordained or pre-planned, and
Yeah.
I think the NBA like or I mean, I think that they've tried like to push like these everything other than like African American black down our
Yeah,
throat, and I think the NBA is at the forefront of that at times. They do that with entertainment too, like The Weeknd. I mean, even though he's North American black, but you know he's light skinned, like Canadian black dude. Drake, light
you
skinned
know where the
Canadian black.
weekend's from?
Is what as far as nationality wise?
Yep,
Is he African?
yep.
From where? Do you know?
Ethiopia.
Oh,
That's
see.
all they do. That's all these guys. That's another thing, right? And I've talked to this behind the scenes and with people. They shove these, on Wudos, on Yekos, on Luke, on Wadas.
What is that?
These I mean Africans, these Ghanaian, Nigerian, these African guys, and they put them there as if they are black, and they're just conning the public.
What are you? What's your background by any chance? Like your folks,
I'm
your
black as
people,
ace of spades. I'm
straight up,
African
right?
American. Yeah,
From like American black, right?
American black.
Yeah. Well, not like I think these things happen like purposely though, man. Like and it's not that it's just like on an entertainment level too, and that's why I take note of these things because I don't give a shit about any entertainment for the most part. Like I don't listen to music that much, like that most people listen to. I do listen to music, but not popular music. But these things delve into like the people who are at the forefront of like the messages, like certain movements that are happening, like even right now. I mean, like I wish we had more time, like because I'm gonna try to cut it off like at the hour mark.
Hmm.
But it's something that we could get. I didn't know that you were like and I mean for anybody for the two people that are listening, I didn't know like me and Ty never had these. I mean, am I right, Ty? Like we never had like a discussion anywhere in this field, correct?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. We talk about bullshit for the most part. Or
Uh
if I talk to Ty offline, it's him trying to help me with a technical issue.
huh.
That's mad simple. But nah, I do feel that way as far as like because they give us like who to root for or what things to get animated about, like as far as or what things to get pissed off about.
Right.
Like and I think the people at the forefront of those issues, um, they give us those too. And like sometimes like I think Black African American people are very willing to accept
Yeah,
people that
we're
aren't Black
too
African.
we're too willing to accept some of these guys. I mean, these Nigerians or whatever these West African guys, they look down on us. That's a fact. They think they're better than us, and not just that. The thing is, when I see it even in college admissions, okay, white people complain about us getting, affirmative action. We complain about Africans stealing the affirmative action from us.
And Indians. Nah, but yo, like Ty, straight up, bro, I don't give a fuck like how these conversations go, like how like to the core. Like, a lot of people like they'll like and I guess I don't appreciate it. Like fucking but when people like, oh, our brown and black brothers, nah, bro, like yo, I've seen mad Spanish people, mad racist towards black people. Like so don't like that whole inclusion thing, like, and this is like more for a future reference. Don't think like you're fucking can't speak on these things like fucking it's not a kumbaya, life is not like
It's
kumbaya
not a
party,
kumbaya. Yeah, everybody is out for themselves. Everybody's group is out for themselves. So even in these rallies, like, okay, I see the protests from, groups from all walks of life, which is cool. But everybody has different issues, and I don't, it's more surface level, if you know what I mean. I
in
don't
what
have a
sense?
clear, like, like what you just said, the whole kumbaya, all the guys from different walks of life, different races, complexions, protesting the George Floyd stuff. It looks good, but it just seems superficial to me.
It is superficial though. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, like like the like I mean, you're gonna adopt like a cause like when it's at its like most fucked up, okay, like I guess you could appreciate it like if you're like at the front line or whatever, but it's not. I mean, to me it just seems phony. Like and I mean like I was just uh sorry to say watching fucking World Star, like the fucking brain vomit and
Yep.
which I telling myself I'm not gonna do and fuck with Facebook, but I do it anyway. Like, but World Star, I was watching a bunch of shit like with like Chicago gangs, like like Latin Kings saying that they were chasing like black dudes out, and
Yeah, I
like you
heard
could,
about something
yeah,
like that.
but you could hear them in the and like Mayate, like they were saying like, oh, like Mayate, like the Mexican dudes. Mayate means like the N bomb for like Mexicans. Like Mexicans say like they refer to
Uh-huh.
you know but that like and they're more they're just using it. What I'm saying is, bro, like I think like the American black dudes are very are always overly willing to like,
Inclusive.
yeah, bro, way too
Too
much.
inclusive.
And then a
Too
lot of other
too.
people adopt their causes to your shit,
Hmm.
and it really waters down like any. And this is I don't I didn't come to this conclusion like in 2020. I came to this conclusion decades ago. You know what I'm saying? Like or a decade ago. I'm fuck, but it's not. It's and I'm glad like you could peep that like as a young cat like, and it's not like and honestly, bro, like at the end of the day, Ty, like personally, if I have any advice to give with these things, and that's the reason I don't get riveted up either way, because I think a lot of things are not what they seem, or not saying
Yes.
that there's not injustice in the world, but when you get your family popping, bro, like take care of them first. If you want to make a change in the world, take care of fucking Ty Jr. and make sure that motherfucker, when he gets out to the world, is the fucking meanest, fucking illest Ty Jr. Not mean like a mean person, but I mean Ty you that I'm talking to times fucking 9. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like rather than like fucking worrying about everything else that's happening in the world. Like I mean like because the
I,
world's fucking gone to shit, bro.
I mean, you see it, and like people play this, these games out here. I was just walking over past drove back from Giant to go get some food, and I see some of this protesting like around everything Black Lives Matter, all white people,
Mm-hmm.
and you see them, and here is this white girl, blonde, everything like that. No justice, no peace, no just. But when you go home at the end of the day, where do you live at? Where do you stay at? How much is in your bank account? You don't have to really worry about the problems that you're here protesting about, and it's just kind of. I refuse to believe they're doing it out of the kindness of their heart.
Nah, it's just popping now, bro. Like, and another thing with that, like as far as that example, that person is always gonna have that on their Instagram to go back
Mm-hmm.
to, and like they
Look,
do
I'm
it for
not
more for that.
racist.
Yeah, word up, bro. Like that's how it is, bro. They hit their 30s and they're like totally want to exclude you from their neighborhoods, like. And don't get it twisted, bro. I don't live around no hood motherfuckers nowadays, like fucking
Mm-hmm.
purposely.
Mm-hmm.
I like, it's not like I'm not one of them dudes like fucking and I became this way recently, bro. Like where I'm a suburbanite, like fucking
Yep.
but shit that has to do with the hood, like I'm totally like fucking try to exclude myself from like nothing good in the hood except haircuts, maybe fucking and food. But
Mm-hmm.
besides that, bro, like I don't get riveted up on anything, and it's not because you know I consider myself above like fucking any situation, nah, bro. But like I just don't believe the hype no more, bro. Like and I mean these conversations go way deeper, I think. Fucking but I don't have enough time.
Yeah, I personally I can point out the problems, but I don't really have any real solution right now. I have no idea. I put my hands up. How do we really solve these issues? But do I see a lot of superficialness or superficiality going on? Of course, yeah.
Yeah, and if I have any advice like to you, man, like I would not get involved like protest wise. It's dangerous, bro. Like like fucking.
Oh no,
Not
I'm
saying
too
that.
lazy for
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Not saying that they're righteous. They're not righteous causes or whatnot. I think that what happened to George Floyd, like may he rest in peace, entirely fucked up. Was the dude's a piece of shit that killed him. The people that were with him are fucking trash. I think a lot of cops are grimy, fucking for the most part. And I mean I don't say like I have friends
Yeah.
that are cops like fucking just to say it like my man's like he's about to visit me tomorrow is a fucking cop. He just became a cop too. Um,
Yeah, not the first time, and it won't be the last. Something like this. So.
but and I think I've talked about this in the past, bro. I don't know if I talked about it in live. No, I think I did, but there was a lot of shit going on when we last got on Lowe's Dawkins live stream. And if
Mhm.
you like and please subscribe to Lowe's Dawkins. I already said it before. Lowe's is my man's. Everybody here is my Michael Johnson, my man. But as far as oh, matter of fact, bro, before I did this live stream, actually after you and I sent you that message. Well, I'll get into I'll say my point first, and then I'll say what just happened. I'm staying in fucking West Palm Beach right now
Mhm.
in Florida or Palm Beach, and I went to a
Yep.
Walgreens. I told you on the thing, like I told you on the message, I'm going to Walgreens with him.
Mhm.
So I'll get to that story in a minute.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
back in the day, like when I was young, I used to get fucked with by the cops all the time, bro. All the time because
Mhm.
I dressed like shit, like fucking and I looked like a hood dude, bro. Like I looked straight up Puerto Rican, like fucking everybody in my crew wear the same hats, like with like the it's the Negro League hats, like it's these hats for a team called the Grays. They have a G on it, and my whole crew would always wear that. And I mean, I'm talking about when we were young, like 14. But and we would get fucked with by the cops all the time. And like after a while, like something clicked in me. I'm like, yo, why are we doing this shit? We should just dress like fucking straight prep, fucking not be seen outside for shit. Like so that was like a rule in my block. Like you couldn't be dressed like fucking hot boy, we would call it. Like
Uh huh.
anything that like would make you look twice, like was a big no no. Like I
Mhm.
definitely didn't dress like this. You couldn't wear tank tops. Like fucking, we wouldn't wear like I mean we wear slacks like a lot of times, but we wouldn't wear it like tucked in and shit like that. We look like church boys for the most part, and like we would hang out like on our roofs more than like on the street, and like that alleviated so much tension. And we didn't do it for the cops' sake. We did it for fucking our sake. I just don't want to
Yeah.
be fucked with by the cop. Like there was somebody who used to be with that same mode of thinking from my block that I went to go see in Sunset Park, and it was raining or cold, and this motherfucker jumps in my car. I think I said the story with the hoodie on, and I was like, bro, you ain't riding with me with no fucking hoodie on, my man. It's like fuck, you're like late 30s, and you're thinking like that I want to be fucked with by the cops at this stage, bro. Like either take the hoodie off or fucking walk, motherfucker, in the rain. Like I fucking can't stand like attracting attention, and it's not because um I'm not on the right path. I just don't want to deal with these motherfuckers. Period, bro. Like, and everybody should think that way. But when I was on my way to Walgreens, like, and mind you, it's raining. It's not. Oh, it is raining right now. Like I have like the pool lights on, but so it looks sunny, but it's not sunny. But there was a Palm County sheriff, some shit like that, like that he turned up a block on a residential street, and there was a young like brother with
Mhm.
going on a bike. Like so, if the Palm County cop was going this way, the young brother was going past him with the bike going the other way. The street was pretty. I mean, it had mad houses, but there was nobody outside because it's raining. Like the young brother, bro, like fucking, he went like this in the bike, bro, like fucking and he came back like towards the cop. I was like, yo, what the fuck are you doing, my man? Like, yo, like I
Mhm.
can't stand, like, and like honestly, bro, like people in the hood like have thinking in that fashion, bro, like where they just like want to be seen, bro. I can't stand being seen. I want to be not seen. I mean, even though I'm on YouTube now and like I mean, I'm trying to wear gear that looks fucking pleasant to the eyes for
Mhm.
for the two hoes that are watching right now. But
Mhm.
but I think like the hood community. I'm not saying the black community. I'm not saying the Spanish
Yeah.
community.
Yeah.
A lot of the Spanish dudes I came up with act entirely like you would perceive black dudes to like, and I
Mhm.
don't like want to sound like a herd, but most of my friends are, black cats. But
Mhm.
I really had to crack the whip back in the day as far as making a rule of not trying to be seen by the cops. And things went a lot easier for myself. And I'm no fucking herb, bro. If you played me back in the day, I would tear your shit off, bro. Like, and I'm not saying this shit on YouTube, like fucking, ask about a motherfucker. Like, I'm from 45th Street and 6th Avenue, Sunset Park. Like, fucking, I mean, you could look up what my government is. I'm not gonna get that shit out no more. Like, fucking, I'm not a herb, bro. I'm not no fucking choir boy. I will fuck you up. Like, but you know, do I want to be showing that like to the cops that I'm fucking a tough guy? Fuck no, bro. Like, fuck the like, I don't want to deal with these motherfuckers. And I think a lot of people should think that way. And unfortunately, in the hood, bro, like they don't, bro. Like motherfuckers be like nudging people, like when cops come by. I'm like, yes, like stupid, bro. It is like dumb thinking, bro. Like avoidance is the key. What say you, Ty?
Yeah, yeah. Trying to fly under the radar. Yeah, that's a big. Yeah, that's a that's a big strategy. That's what people
It's
should be
work.
doing. It works. I don't even really spend too much time outside. I'm a homebody, to be honest with you. But at this point, like, I'm so focused. Well, I'm not too focused, of course. I still play video games or whatever. Just chill out. I like being lazy. But I'm just worried about stuff like my future, my career path, just things like that, to be even get a haircut or, dress modestly, go out, get groceries, go to the car, drive home. And I'm just like a average layman.
Well, like I only say this too, bro, because it's not young motherfuckers that be playing these rules like differently than I did. Like they be dudes in their 30s, bro, like fucking in the hood. 35, bro. I'm like, yo, like why are you out here, my man? Like fucking still chilling, like like on I mean on my block, bro. Like there's a like, and I'm only mentioning this guy's name because I can't stand this motherfucker, and he's actually from my block. This dude named Charlie, uh, Charlie Rock, they call him. Fucking, and this dude's gotta be like 45. He's probably older than that. Fucking buns, bro. He's a big time troublemaker. Like he's always got like a mean grill. Like fucking he thinks he's running something. He lives with his mommy still. But I mean, I'm pretty sure that the cops must fuck with this dude like 20 times per. At least look at him 20 times per day. Like just from the way he dresses, like fucking from being outside in general, like it's just backwards thinking, bro. I think a lot of our thinking, like as a so-called community, because I don't consider like so-called minorities possessing of any sort of community because we don't fucking
Yeah.
own communities. We live in hoods. Like we think very backwards, bro. And a lot of shit be fucking up for us because we think backwards. And I used to think backwards and don't think that I always thought straightforward or wisely. I didn't think that way in many facets. But avoidance of police was always on my mind and it worked out for me very well. And I'm not
Yeah.
doing that, and I don't do bad shit, bro. Like I'm a good guy. I'm a good boy nowadays, especially. You know what I'm saying? But if any young person is listening, or any person that's still like has a presence outside, like fucking, you have no business with the cops. Like think of it that way, bro. You don't want to deal with them. You don't want to prove them right, or like fucking have them pull you over, and then you pull a trump card, and then they feel dumb. They don't do that. They fuck you up. Most times.
Like I saw a video of what's it called? Those people from Morehouse and Spelman in Atlanta, and they were driving out. They drove through that checkpoint, or what had happened. If you heard about the story, they got pulled out of
No,
the
I didn't.
car, and dude would look like he was. Well, what happened was it was past curfew. I don't know how many minutes or how many hours. I don't know how long it was past curfew. But yeah, I had a guy from Morehouse and a girl from Spelman. They were both in the car. This is in Atlanta. And they drove past a checkpoint, and I don't know what had started. Very, the typical, get out of the car. What I do, get out of the car. What I do, get out of the car. What I do, back and forth like that 6 or 8 times before they pull them out of the car and start, roughing them up as usual and tased them. And he got on the news recently about it. And they said one of the the clips or whatever was stuck in his back for like 6 hours. And he looked like he was about to cry. But my thing is, I don't know too much about the story, but like personally, if I knew there was like stuff going on downtown,
Word up, bro.
I'm U-turning.
No, and the thing is too, like I don't say like, oh, those Morehouse cats were some dumb motherfuckers. Nah, I don't agree with that. Like, but if
Nobody
I
should be
knew it,
roughed up like that.
yeah, not at all, bro. It's fucked
Yeah,
up.
but
Especially a brother, like, but
I'm gonna
if
try
I
my
know it,
best not to be put in the position. Sorry for cutting
yeah,
you off.
bro. No, no, it's fine, bro. Like a lot, like like a lot of like so-called conscious cats on YouTube, like, oh, I know this, by law, this. Yo, like a lot of these cops are not very brilliant. Like fucking,
No.
they grew up in way better schools than what Ty went to and I went to, and they
Mhm.
became cops. That shows, and they probably didn't want to become cops.
Yeah.
Like fucking So these dudes are not sharp, like, but seemingly they fuck people up, like, of color, and they don't get in trouble for it. Like fucking, I don't want to be around dudes like that. I'd rather
Mhm.
go to where the checkpoint ain't.
Yeah.
Personally, and that's not saying that it's that I don't
I'm
think
not
that
saying
these
what happened to them was right. Of course
yeah,
not.
not at all. It's
Nobody
not
should be
right.
roughed up.
Not at all, bro. Like I think like in almost every one of these instances, like I would never side with no fucking 12. You know what I'm saying? Like, but
Yeah. I mean, I would have made sure to double back
hell yeah.
if
If
I
I could
knew
U-turn, bro, like
there's a
and they can't beat
checkpoint.
me, bro. Oof. Like, I was shitting bricks like
Yeah.
when I came down here, because there was a checkpoint on fucking 95, bro. Like
Yeah.
right when you got into Florida.
Hmm.
And I mean, it's not like I was fucking riding dirty, bro, like, or anything, but I don't want to deal with these motherfuckers, like, and it's not because I'm shook. Like, I don't want to deal with anybody, bro. Like, let alone somebody who has a fucking smidget of more power than I do by having fucking backup guns, fucking baton, taser.
Hmm.
Yeah, my brother got tasered before too, bro. Shout out to Carmelo. He still got the scar too.
Damn.
Fucking but that's the only person I know that has been tasered. I should bring him on, like fucking to talk tales of tasers. Yeah, my brother's like straight up black too, like fucking Well, he looks straight up black, but
Hmm.
he's been roughed up. He got tasered, but that's more because my brother's an idiot, though. Not and also, I'm pretty sure like the being black didn't help in those instances. But my brother will pop off like in a cop, like talking shit. Like if they pull up, he'll fucking say that fucking like he's on medication or some shit, and they can't pull him over because of that. Like it just doesn't make a lot of sense. And he's been wrecked. And those defenses didn't help him. And they've done the opposite. But shout out to Carmelo, bro. Love you. Fucking yeah, bro. But the main key, man, like I mean, and I don't I know the words are, maybe not resonating with you so much because I don't envision you like fucking doing no dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
Hmm.
I hope it remains that way, bro.
Hopefully not. Yeah.
Nah, you're not, bro. You're good to go. You do the dumb shit at this age, bro. Like fucking, if you're doing dumb shit at 28, bro, I'm fucking you up. I'll go to where you live and put the beats on you. The what do you think about all this other shit, man? I mean, like before we head out, like everything that's happened, the fucking world gone mad.
Uh, huh. Well, selfishly, the protests have delayed my PlayStation 5 event, and certain other gaming news and updates that I'd been looking forward to. But I don't know. I guess it's just bumming out as usual. Working here or there and just trying to prepare myself for the online for the fall. I mean,
But
not much is
anything
going on in
anything
my
popping
life.
off by you though, or like with this shit?
No, I mean, I would say like, which city doesn't have their protests by now, or so we see guys, but nothing serious. I don't think nothing serious around here. It's too
Yeah,
rural.
they had. I think that checkpoint that was happening that I just mentioned on 95 was due to a protest. Like they shut down
Mm,
95 like in the midst of like a protest. Or protesters jumped on 95 like fucking and shut it down. So I think it was in an area where there was a checkpoint. I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know. Like, but I know 95 was shut down. I don't know if it happened like where the protest, I mean where the checkpoint was, but they when I got to the hotel that day, um, they said that protesters shut down 95 that day. But I know
hmm.
by me in Brooklyn, um, there's protests going on in like the wider area.
Yeah, like crazy.
Yeah. Well, like no, like I'm not saying like I don't even know who's doing it. Like, cause I'm trying to like not like tune into this shit like too much. But like the wider area, Bay Ridge, like I heard they had protests there, but they was also saying that in the areas next to it, like the Italian areas, that these motherfuckers are coming out like with bats, like so supposedly defending their neighborhood bullshit. Like they just want to crack black skulls, bro. Nah, it's true, bro. I mean, and
So
it, like you know, and like before I sign off too, like you know, there's like more of a PSA, like with what's you know, if you heard the last portion of this conversation, fucking jump to the beginning, because you know, and I can speak for Tyrone in this instance too. We're not rationalizing any of these things that are happening, or like you know, we don't think that like again like that these aren't like righteous causes or what happened. We don't think that it wasn't fucked up, because I'm pretty sure Ty could agree with me that we both agree that you know a motherfucker getting murked by the cops is fucking fucked up, of course. But you know, I think Ty's an intelligent guy. Like fucking, I try to front like I'm fucking like I know what's up, and hopefully we
nah,
get
man,
into
you know what's up, right? You
like
know what's
hopefully we
going
get
on.
into these conversations on a deeper level too. But no, because I don't want like some fucking asshole like to be like you know, oh L5 plays this and that. Like you know, if you got something that fucking, or if you think I'm saying something a certain way, fucking ask me before being a fucking puss. Like some of these other people that I've had instances with, like fucking and let me know what's up. Like, cause I'll
I think
gladly chat with you about it. Like, you
if
know,
yeah, if I were to put something out there for all these guys who are protesting around my age, 22, 23, or anybody, make sure your house is in order first before doing anything else. Make sure you're not using this protest as a front to cover up problems that you have at home. You don't have a job, you're still living here, you're not getting paid. Take care of that stuff first before, going out and putting commitment to show support for somebody else.
yeah. And I mean, you know, and I also reason with that stuff too, in the sense that, like, you know, with the COVID-19 and like the effect that it's have had on the economy, that it's affected the minority community more than anybody. You know, like
Uh-huh.
like you know, and it will affect the minority community more than anybody in the future. And you know, you know, we could both reason with that, like fucking but don't believe that. I mean, get you know, on a more broad sense, like Ty said, like you know, we all need to get our houses in order, like fucking like in a very I mean, monetarily or fucking
Mm-hmm.
like I told Ty like before the broadcast started, like I bought gold and whatnot. I always do fucking I mean, not just jewelry gold, but fucking like actual gold. But you know, food always have like fucking I is going into another direction, but I mean, I think it should be followed. Like, you know, I always like I don't know if I ever told you, but I always like right now at the cribs, like the like you know the 24 packs of these, like you know, water. I keep like right now I probably have like I can tell you the exact number, like either 46 or 48 at the cribs. Um,
Mm.
mad fucking granola bars, like shit. You know, it's not because I think anything's gonna pop off, but you know, if they fuck up the store that I shop at, then you know, I'm not gonna be asked out or trying to rob somebody for fucking food.
Right.
But you know, we gotta think that way. Like, you know, I think you know, as far as like arming ourselves, like, you know, or owning guns, like black gun ownership should be something that's mad standard. Like that should be the standard. Guns
Yeah.
shouldn't belong to just to hunters and shit like that. Like fucking your boy, you know, always Paxi, like a lot of the dudes that I talk with that I've met, you know, whether it be through the LWC or fucking through like the boxing communities that I've met, like I've been very candid. Like I'm still crazy cool with um Lion Killer, or what you may know, what people may have known as World Breaker. Like, but you know, like we always talk about guns and what. Like he's entirely strapped up. Like I'm always trying to keep a strap too. Um, but you know, if you don't depend on the cops, like I'm not gonna go begging them for help. Like if I'm in a bind, you know, or if somebody's trying to break into the crib, or if I don't have food, you know, I don't want to go out and search for it, and I don't want your help. Like fucking, if somebody comes in imposing on mine or me on mine,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like, but you should get strapped up too when you get your own casa tie, like fucking
Yeah.
in the future.
And put some
Like
money down
no, as
and
far as like
time.
with No, with the as far as arming yourself too. Like,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I said put some money down on it and time.
they're
For the
cheap, bro.
classes and
Yo,
stuff.
that's another thing too, man. They're mad cheap. Like guns are like, I mean, like in the street, like guns are like 2 G's sometimes, like especially new shit. But legally, $400, bro. You could buy a fucking nice used Glock, bro. That's super dependable, real safe. Like a lot, like the people that shoot themselves with guns, I've known like three of my friends have shot themselves um by accident, and it's because they ain't no guns, bro. Like they had them like not legally, like fucking. But like when you get your own shit, you could bring it to the range like legally or shoot like in the fields legally. Like you'll never shoot yourself. Like you don't even gotta learn anything, bro. Like anything you gotta learn, like it'll take 20 minutes. You know, but you should definitely have it. Like is food's done?
Yeah.
I'm coming up. All right. Yeah. I'm gonna that was my wifey. Fucking I'm gonna cut it off. Any last words though, Ty? Like before we break out? Thanks for coming.
No
Before
problem.
you even break out though, bro. Thanks for coming through, bro. Like I appreciate you fucking and as far as our little conglomerate goes, like in our WhatsApp group, whatever the fuck we should be calling ourselves, like we haven't picked a name yet. I'm gonna try to come up with one. But you bring we have a nice array of people, bro. Like
Uh-huh.
like we all look different. Fucking, we all act differently. Like we have UK motherfuckers on deck, like um Midwest motherfuckers, like educated, like young motherfuckers, like Latin, like fucking Model S motherfuckers like myself, like fucking I'm just fucking. But nah, like, and I appreciate your contributions. Like fucking, I should talk to you more off like line than I currently have. Like fucking, especially in times like this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh,
but
no problem. Yeah,
you're
you're fine.
I,
Everybody's busy.
you're my homeboy though, Ty. Like fucking and I say that truthfully, like fucking and I
Hey
appreciate all the
man,
help you
thank
give
you.
me offline too.
Oh no,
Like,
you helped me a lot
with,
too. Just to get on here and talk is really cool because not everybody can. Some people don't have this opportunity. I mean, well, they can get on YouTube, but like just to talk with like-minded people is pretty cool.
yeah, I gotta do it more though too, man. I don't know if I told you, but the reason I wasn't getting on my man's Trev died, bro. Like, and it took a chunk out of me because like I was like the most fucking happy-go-lucky, like always smiling. Like, I mean, he was like like 6'8", fucking my same age. But it took a chunk at when really really dope people die like that. It just fucking. I mean, I've had a lot of people that have died recently, like fucking, but that like really fucked me up like these past like 2 weeks, like fucking and rest in peace, fucking drag man, like fucking miss you, like fucking shit had me like really fucked up. That's why
Yeah.
I kind of like went back on like not doing live since I bought this laptop. But I'm gonna try to go like more like once I get back up north.
Nah, just take your time. Do whatever you feel is right, or whenever you want to go.
And I'd love for
That's
you
the
to
most
join me
important
in
thing.
these ventures too when I do go live, bro.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Any last words though?
No, nothing. It was just a great. Thanks for having me on. It was a great conversation, and hope to do this again in the future.
Yeah, we will definitely will. Thank you for coming on too, man. Like and with that, for all the fucking 3 people probably total that have listened, thank you for stepping into the Foul Playland. As always, I'm a Foul Player, and please subscribe to my man Ty. How do you say your channel's name?
It's
Tyler?
Tyrone Smith,
Don't
but
fuck it
you
up.
can put Tyrone Smith boxing in YouTube, and you should see one of my videos. I should make it more. I should make my channel stand out a bit more and change the name or something. But that's how it is now.
It'll pop off, bro. The with God's help or with the God's help, like
Yeah, I'll
fucking
just use it to
it's gonna
vent.
pop.
To vent.
You came in angry today too, bro.
Yeah.
You cut it unexpectedly too, like fucking. But thanks for coming on again, man. And like with that, I'm out. Peace,
Yep.
bro.
Yep. Peace out.